last thing. Okay, assignment 3 is basically compiling this information in one place so that it can sort of start to help you put together what this essay is going to, how it's going to develop, like what it's going to look like, right? So here's the first thing. This is more of a thought thing, a thinking question, right? So you briefly explain the traditional narrative that you just wrote about, enough so that you can then talk about the main ways it's begun to change or is still changing. And then here's the key: is that you want to explain why it matters at all. Okay, so you need to come up with an actual answer, right? The theory is with research papers, you do them and they matter because you're trying to say something or prove something or argue something. So in this case, that's what you're doing. You're saying there was a narrative, it's slowly been changing, and now I want you to be able to answer, like, why does it matter? So what's so important about me pointing out that higher education has shifted from the way we used to think about it, to how it is now, right? And I can talk about how it makes us focus more on global things than just our own country, all sorts of things. But anyway, so that's the first one. So that's just more of a thinking question, right? Like, come up with why it matters. Second, you're basically going to find your citation for your primary source. Okay, so whatever you have your primary source, you're just going to put it there. And essentially, it's, if you've already done the writing L, you'll already have that information. So write the full citation for the primary source here. Number 3, so you're writing 2 paragraphs, and here's the process that they want you to do. You're looking at your primary source and you're thinking about it in relationship to the articles that you've already talked about. So the articles from your literature review, where you mentioned what they said and what they believed and who supported what, all of that. What they want you to do now is to think about, you have your primary source, it's data, it's an interview, it's a speech or whatever, and you're trying to figure out, so how does it connect with things I've already read, these articles that have already been written. So one thing you do is you're going to say, okay, so this primary source does this certain thing which connects to or reflects what this other author said, and so that's the connection. So you want to find one way in which it connects, and then you want to find one way in which it doesn't, right, to some other source. So here's my primary source, and it doesn't quite fit, or it's sort of opposite, or it somehow doesn't go with some other article that you have. So in what way, so how it connects to one, and how it complicates or doesn't really fit with one. Okay, so the question is, would the primary source be about the newer narrative instead of the traditional narrative? Yes. So basically, it has to be, it's some sort of document that's going to help you show the changing narrative.